The time to restore the Snyderverse is now. Now is the time. Right here, right now, this day and age, in the present, just right now is the time. And we, the audience, need to show Warner Brothers and Warner Media and AT&T that we want the Snyderverse restored. That we want Snyder's vision to continue in the way that he planned it, with all these spin-offs, the Justice League sequels, and so forth. And yet they still won't listen to us. They think that we'll just go to see any movie or watch any show that they make because it falls under the DC Comics, the logo, you know? They think that we'll just blindly go see these movies regardless of what it is. That's not how this works. Warner Brothers, we the audience, we DC fans, we're not stupid. All right, we're not idiots. And the fact that Warner Brothers keep trying to shut out the people who want the Snyderverse restored, that is just bad business for you. And that's not good business, you know? And it should be, and they know that there is a demand out there to restore the Snyderverse, and yet they're going to ignore us just because they may not like Snyder's vision, or they're too ignorant or arrogant enough to think that their vision is the right way. And the funny thing is, they have, with the Flash movie, as it's being said right now, they're going to introduce the multiverse with that, the concept of the multiverse. So the chance to restore the Snyderverse and everything that has been broken along the way is right there in that multiverse. Yet they're not going to take advantage of that. They say that the multiverse, that with the use of the multiverse, they can create iterations that everybody can enjoy. Different iterations of different characters. Well, that's a lie. They will only create iterations of characters that they enjoy. You know, they say they listen to the fans, but they don't. They know there is a demand out there to release David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad. They addressed that, and they still said they're not going to release it. Yet they say that they listen to the fans and are aware of what we want. Well, they are aware of what we want, but they're not going to listen to us regardless of what we say. Well, that's not always the case, hence the Snyder Cut. They listen to us there. Let's not forget, AT&T is the one who released the Snyder Cut, not Warner Brothers. AT&T has the power to overrule their Warner Brothers decisions, you know? So if anything, if I were AT&T, I would start rearranging my assets, you know? Don't let Warner Brothers have full control over the DC characters, or, you know, don't have it under the thumb of Warner Brothers, you know? Rearrange some stuff. Have it where if one of the branches at AT&T or Warner Media has an idea for a DC project, whether if it's HBO Max or Warner Brothers or so forth, they can go straight to AT&T with that idea, and AT&T will be the one who greenlights it, you know? Because in the current condition as it's in right now, any branch that has an idea for a DC project, they have to go through Warner Brothers first, which then goes to AT&T, which that is not good. Because Warner Brothers, as we see, is under poor management, and they do not know how to handle this DC universe. No matter how much they say that they do, they keep saying that these characters are in good hands. They are not, you know? They're not listening. They're not taking the proper actions of restoring what is broken in this DC franchise. And the time for the audience to speak up is now. Restore the Snyderverse. And, you know, because they're basically mad at us. Because I think the CEO of Warner Brothers came out a few days ago and said how she is disappointed in us fans, you know? And our reactions to certain canceled projects or future canceled projects, you know. And it's like, why would you be mad at us? We're literally telling you, Warner Brothers, we're telling you how you can make money from us. We want to give you our money on projects that we want to see. You know? You big CEOs at Warner Brothers, you're not comic fans. You don't understand the comics. You're businessmen, you know? That you run the business financially and so forth. Now, should you keep an eye on certain projects and so forth? Absolutely, that's the whole point of a business. But when it comes to understanding these characters, you do not know. Because I doubt that they've ever picked up a comic book or watched or understood these characters or understand how the fans feel about these characters. I doubt that they have the slightest idea of how these characters work, you know? So it's like, if you're not going to take the time to understand them, then as a business person, you should just stick to the financial stuff and maintain like, I don't know, like the business side of things, you know? Leave the story to people who will actually want to tell a good story, who are true fans, who will read the comics, watch the shows, and understand the different iterations of these characters and how it all meshes and works together, you know? Hire people who actually want to deliver a good story, who are fans. Don't hire people like the Birds of Prey director, because they are there to just force some political agenda through the use of these characters. Hire somebody like Zack Snyder, who actually takes the time to read the comics and actually has a good story to tell. You know, that's how you're gonna make profit, you know? And if a project goes south and does not go well, if it's poorly received or does financially struggles, then you can like have a discussion with the people running these, like, hey, can we go over this plan maybe? Like, I'm not here to like rule with an iron fist or anything. I just wanna, you know, see how things are going, see if we can bounce back from this small setback and so forth, you know? It's like as I said before, they say they know what we want, which they do, but they don't care. That's the thing they left out. They don't care. We want, you know, the Deathstroke project from Joe Manganiello, a sequel to David Ayer's Suicide Squad once his first Suicide Squad project is released, his original cut of the film. You know, we want the Batfleck movie, you know, for HBO Max and so forth. Let the Snyderverse exist on HBO Max. You know, you have this new streaming platform and you're trying to earn more subscribers. There's your key. There's your golden key to the gate of new subscribers. You know, there's your opportunity. Take it, you know? But they're not. Because they're too just self-centered and too arrogant and their ego is too big for them to think that they could do wrong, you know, and that they don't need to listen to us, which in reality they do, because the reason their company stands right now is because of profit and revenue from us, from the people who invest in their stuff, you know. And the numbers just came back today, I think, on how the Snyder Cut has done in a matter of views. It's gotten 1.8 million views, and it's been out for less than a week. Less than a week since it's been released, you know? And they compared that with the numbers of Wonder Woman 1984 during its month, like the month it was on HBO Max. That got 2.2 million views. That took a month to get there. The Snyder Cut, it did 1.8 million in a matter of days. Not to mention you have to contribute in the facts that Snyder Cut is a 4-hour movie and it's rated R. So the fact that it only got 400,000 less than Wonder Woman 84, that should be saying something to them, you know? And, you know, it's just, I believe now is the time for the audience members to speak up and say, we want restore the Snyderverse, you know? Tell AT&T, because like I said, AT&T can overrule Warner Brothers' decisions, you know? And show AT&T what we want, you know? And show them our wish list. Because I do not remember anybody asking for a Peacemaker show with John Cena. I do not remember anybody asking for that Aquaman cartoon, The King of Atlantis. I do not remember anybody asking for a Trench spin-off film over a 5-minute scene from Aquaman. I do not remember anybody asking for a spin-off movie of the Amazons on the Themyscira. I do not remember anybody rapidly asking for Wonder Woman 3 after Wonder Woman 84 was so divisive and controversial. I noticed, a lot of people have been spotting this, so I was going to mention this as well. Notice, like 2 or 3 days after Wonder Woman 84 came out on HBO Max and was released in theaters and so forth, just when it was released, 2 or 3 days later, Warner Brothers announces that Wonder Woman 3 has been greenlit. 5 days after the Snyder Cut has been released, they're saying that Zack's trilogy is complete and that they have no plans to continue the Snyderverse. It's like seriously, AT&T, you should see that the audience wants Snyder's vision. A majority of the fans want Snyder's vision. And if the people at Warner Brothers, at the company you own, Warner Brothers, do not agree with the audience, then you should rearrange the employees there, rearrange the CEO and stuff like that. Put somebody else in charge and call the shots, And if you want to do different iterations of these characters, there is the multiverse. As I said, you can do the multiverse. There's nothing wrong with that. So that for those that aren't fans of Snyder's vision and want something else, you have the multiverse for them, Do you want Shazam in a different universe? There it is. If you want to go see the Snyder Cut, there it is in a different universe. And it could all fit well and perfect. But the people at Warner Brothers are just too full of themselves to see that. So I believe the time is now for audience members to show Warner Brothers and AT&T that we want #restore the Snyderverse, and #release the Ayer cut. They don't even realize that the reason the DC universe is such a big mess is not because of Snyder, it's not because of the audience reception, it's because of them. It's because of them that Batman v Superman had mixed reviews and reception when it came out and was considered a financial struggle, Because they chose to take out 30 minutes of that movie when it came out in theaters, which then created a lot of controversy among the audience. But when the Ultimate Edition came out and put back in that 30 minutes, it helped clear a lot of things and got a lot more positive reception. Then they tried to interfere with, Justice League, Suicide Squad. Look, this whole mess that they're in is because of them. It's not because of Snyder and the direction he's going. It's not because of the audience. It's because of them, which in turn upsets the audience. Because it shows that Warner Bros. Is not listening to us. And as I've said, the best time to restore the Snyderverse is now. If we show that we support Snyder and his vision to AT&T, hopefully they'll listen and they will take action about it, and allow Snyder to continue his vision. And the whole multiverse concept can help that work perfectly. Convince some of the cast members to come back, and so forth. This is the perfect time to fix everything that has been broken. So I urge everybody to who's a fan of the Snyderverse and just wants to see the best for these characters, spread the word. #restore the Snyderverse. #release the Ayer cut. Just show Warner Brothers what you want. And hopefully us audience members can help DC get back on the right track. So thank you everybody for watching this video. Leave a like, and spread the word. #restore the Snyderverse.